Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Davis here at home, and today for math we're going to do a little reviewing. Before the break we were working on place value. So I have on my board here a little poster that just reviews what place value is. Place value is the value of where a digit is in a number. Now we were working with two-digit numbers before the break, and we were learning that in a two-digit number there are two place values. There's the tens position and there's the ones position. Now let's talk about the ones position. So the ones position is used in place value to show single units. So I have some counters here. I just grabbed some straws because I felt like they would be easy for me to hold up and show you. So I'm going to count these out. 1, 2, these are single units. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when I have the numbers 0 through 9, I can place those numbers here in the ones position because they are giving the value of 1 unit. However, if I take that same group of 9 counters and I add 1 more to it, then I can make a collection or a group of 10. I can take the 10 ones and form a group. I'm just going to put a little rubber band around those to kind of bundle them up. Now I understand that I have one group of 10 ones in a collection. I don't have to go back and count those singles again because I know that now they've formed one group of 10. And I understand in a two-digit number that this position will show me how many single units I need to build that number, and then how many groups of 10 it takes to build that number. So today we're going to be thinking about place value, just kind of getting a refresher on it. We're going to do a couple of activities together. So I'm going to need you to go get your spiral, okay, and a pencil. So go ahead and get those two items and get ready. And I already have mine set up because the first two activities that we're going to be doing today, we're going to do together. And I just titled this Place Value. Now, the date that I'm actually working on this is April 30th. So my date is 4/30/20. I just think that's kind of a cool date, so I definitely wanted to write that. Whenever you're working on this activity, it's fine. Just put whatever date that you're working on it. Remember, we're working at home, so things are a little bit more flexible for us, and that's okay. Okay, now, the first activity that we're going to do, you might have noticed that I had my spiral already set up. I drew a line separating this tall tower position of my spiral into 2 equal parts. And I labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one up here is going to be a practice that I'm going to show you just to model what our first activity is going to be. So you don't need to write that one down. Okay, the first activity that I want you to do with me to kind of warm up with place value is I'm going to show you a number. You're going to write it down, and then I'm going to ask you to underline either the tens position or the ones position, which digit is in that position. So the first one is going to be just a model for you. So on my spiral, you saw that I wrote down the number 15, and then if I were doing this and calling this out, I would say, okay, I want you to underline the digit that's in the ones position. And so I just went ahead and underlined the 5 because in the number 15, it is built with 1 10 and 5 ones. So this is the ones position. And, you know, I realize that in all two-digit numbers, the very first position is always the ones position. So, this activity might be considered a no-brainer. What do you think? All right, let's get refreshed. Here we go. First one, I'm going to show you a number. You're going to write it down, and then I'll tell you what position I want you to underline. Here we go. The first one is 58. So write that down under number 1. I'm going to write it down too. I'm going to work as you work. Okay. And I want you to underline the digit that is in the tens position. Underline the digit that's in the tens position. Okay. And I'm going to do that too. Okay. All right. Here's our next one. 30. So write down the number 30 next to the number 2, because this is our second one. And I want you to go ahead and underline the digit that's in the tens position again. Tens position. And I'm going to do that also. Okay, here's the next one, 24. So number 3 is 24. Write that down. This time I want you to underline the digit that's in the ones position. Okay, I'm going to do it too. I'm keeping up with you. Up next, 66. Now this one's interesting. We have 2 6s, and each 6 is in a different position. So that gives each one of these 6s a different value. I want you to write 66 down, and I want you to underline the digit that's in the ones position. The ones position. I'm going to do that also. Okay. Up next, 75. 75. Okay, in the number 75, I want you to underline the digit that's in the tens position. The tens position. Great. Okay, our final number of the day for this activity, 47. 47. Okay, and I'm going to write that down. For this one, I want you to underline the digit that's in the ones position. The ones position. Okay, are you ready to check? Just get, if you want to just check with your pencil, that's fine, or you can get a marker or crayon. We're going to go ahead and check these so that we've got that one done. If you got one of them incorrect, just circle it. You can change it later. Okay, here we go. Number 1 was 58, and we were going to underline the digit in the tens position. In this number 58, 5 is in the tens position. It takes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It takes 5 tens to build it. In number 2, we were writing the number 30, and again, we were underlining the number in the tens position. In the number 30, to build it, 10, 20, 30, 3 tens. And then number 3 was the number 24. This time we were underlining the ones position. In the number 24, it takes 2 tens and 4 singles. So this 4 is in the ones position. Okay. In number 4, we wrote down the number 66, and we were underlining again the ones position. This 6 is in the ones position, and it is actually valued at 6 ones. All right. This 6 is actually valued at 6 tens. So this one's worth 60. This one is actually just worth 6. All right. Number 5 was 75, and you were underlining the number 7, which is actually in the tens position, and it doesn't mean 7, it means 70. And then finally, the last one was 47. And for this one, you were underlining the digit in the ones position, which is 7. To build the number 47, you need 4 tens and 7 singles. All right, how did you do? Again, just check those that you got correct. And if you missed one, just circle it, go back and fix it later. Okay, on to activity number 2. This time, you might notice that I have some counters on my board. I've got some 10s and some little ones cubes. And for our second activity, I'm going to build a value. And then I want you to count it and write the whole number that is the same value as the blocks on my board. And then we'll go back through and we'll check those. Okay, and we'll see if you got them correct. Okay, here we go. And I tried to organize them. My little counters here are bigger than my board, so it took up a lot of space. But you know, when you're organizing your counters for building, we always would put our 10s above the place that we're building our groups of 10, and then we put our little ones counters, our ones units right here above. So I tried to organize that way. Okay, first one, here we go. Again, I'm building and you're writing the total value. How much are the cubes, or what's the value of the counters that I'm putting on the board? Okay, and I'm building 10s first and 1s. Okay, here's the first value. Okay, how much is on my board? 10s and 1s. Okay, all right. Write that one down. Okay, next one. Are you ready? I'm going to add a few 10s. I think my dog is ready too. Seems like he's always ready for any activity that we're doing. I'm also going to take one of these ones away. Here's your next value. Okay, count those blocks. Write how many. And we were writing next to, so the first and the second one, we're just putting it on your spiral. Okay. The third one, I'm going to keep this group of 10s and I'm going to add some 1s. Okay. Okay, there's the next value. You're counting the total number of blocks, 10s and 1s, and then you're writing the whole number that is equal to these counters. Okay, next one, I've got to remove some 10s. So let me slide these up, slide him over, and I'm even going to have to remove one of my 1s here. And again, I like to usually situate my counters so that it's easy to see, easy to read the values of them if they're organized. Okay, write down how much is on my board. All right, we have 2 more to go. The next one is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. I know you're going to get this one. I'm taking all of those ones off. Okay, there is your amount. I hope you know that one. Okay, write it down. That was number 5. Okay, our final one. This is going to take some situating, okay? Because I'm going to have to put, I'm actually going to have to even slide some up here. I'm going to have to put a lot of 10s on for this one. This is a big daddy rabbit right here. And let's see if I can get these on in a way that they'll stay organized for me. Stay on. Okay. Trying to work my magic here. Okay. Now let's just move these away so they don't get you confused. There's my 10s, but I'm not done. And, all right, 10s plus 1s. How much is on my board? You're counting and writing the value. Okay, let's do a check. Here we go. The first one, I'll just write these on my spiral. You can check. The first value was 26. There were 2 10s and 6 1s. So 20 plus 6, 26. All right, the second one was 45. There were 4 10s and 5 1s. 40 plus 5, 45. And then we just removed, we kept the 10s and we didn't remove, we added to those 1s to build the value of 48. 40 plus 8, or 4 tens and 8 ones, 48. The fourth one was 17. So we removed some tens, and we removed 1 1 so that we could build 1 10 and 7 ones, or 17. All right. And then this one was our easiest one. Yeah, there was just 1 10 there, so hopefully you got that one correct. And then our final number, that's still up there, 82. 8 tens and 2 ones. And I tried to do 40 and 40, but of course my blocks are a little bit bigger than my board, but I tried to make it work. Okay, how did you do? Hopefully you got all of those correct and you were able to count. Now, I've got one final activity that I want you to work on your own. Again, it's working with place value. It's working with counters and thinking about adding your tens and your ones. Now, when I sent packet home, I think it was packet number 2. It's hard to remember when I sent all of my materials, but I did try to send you a sheet, and I don't have it here at home, but the sheet will contain some tens rods and some ones cubes. And it's not in color like this one. It's just a white piece of paper with those tens rods and those ones cubes. And I sent those home just in case you will need those if you're going to work with tens and ones and place value and adding tens and ones. You may need those counters. So if you want to go ahead and look in your packets, I'm pretty sure it's in packet number 2, but it may have gotten in packet number 1. So check those 2 and find it if you need it. And then and again, I've sent so much materials over the last couple weeks, I don't know if I sent you a place value organizer. I think maybe I sent you one that just had tens and ones, which would be okay for you to use. But if not, you can just I got this piece of plain copy paper. And what I did with it was I folded one side and then I folded the next side and just flattened it out. And then I marked it with my pencil and I created my own place value organizer. So if I did not include that tool for you, then you can go ahead and make your own. We can be problem solvers for sure. Now, you may not need your counters for this activity, but you do have those available if you need them. Please use them and let them help you, because, you know, using our tools to help us solve problems is definitely a great strategy, and these place value blocks really do come in handy, especially since it's been a while since we've worked on our place value. Okay, here's what you're going to do on your own. Again, you're going to be working in that spiral, and I went ahead and labeled this adding tens and ones, because when you're building values, you're actually adding 2 parts. You're adding your tens plus your ones. So you're adding this part plus this part to get a whole. So in this activity, you are going to write the title. And again, I put that really cool date, 4/30/20. Very cool. You put your date when you're working on it. And what I'd like you to do is number your spiral from 1 all the way to 8. And our final activity, you're going to be working on your own, and you're going to be solving and completing some math equations. Okay, so the first part is going to either be, you're going to either add the tens with the ones or the ones with the tens. And it doesn't matter which order the parts are in, because in addition, you can have them in either position, because you're just adding 2 parts together. So go ahead and write these down. The first one is 40 plus 2 equals blank. And number 2, 10 plus 6 equals blank. These are ones you're going to solve on your own. Part plus part equals whole. 9 plus 50 equals blank. 20 plus 5 equals blank. And remember, our part is either tens or ones added with tens or ones. Okay, number 5 is 0 plus 18 equals blank. My dog Jinx can do that one. I know you can too. 6 is 90 plus 9. I think that might be my favorite one. I'm sure you can already figure out the answer to that one. Number 7 is 8 plus 60 equals blank. And then finally, number 8 is 30 plus 7 equals blank. Okay, you're going to be completing this final place value review on your own. Again, if you need to use those counters, those place value counters that I sent home, again, they're not colored, so just look for a white piece of paper with, it looks like tens rods and ones cubes. And then if you can't find a place value mat, hopefully I sent one of those, but if not, you can make your own if you need to, or you can just work on the floor, just organize into tens and ones as you're building your equations. So you would grab 4 tens and then 2 ones and pull them together. Let me just model that one. So if I were at home and I were building this, I would build my 4 tens or 40, and then to that I would add plus 2 ones, and then I would pull them together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42. Okay, all right. So get busy. You've got some work to do on your own. Okay, hopefully this refresher on place value was helpful to you, because going forward in our next coming lessons coming up, we're going to do a little bit more with place value and adding. We're going to be working on adding 10 more to our groups of tens and ones. So we're going to become 10 more than a value experts. Okay, until our next math lesson, as always, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.